Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily, and today we're going to be talking about my July TBR. So this is actually the Summertime Reads SeasonAthon, if you looked at the title, but it's also my July TBR because I don't read that many books anymore, so 11 books is like a good enough TBR for me. I'm so crazy busy with school and work that it's just, we just gotta keep it to a lower amount of books. So this is going to be my TBR for the readathon, but it's also just my TBR for the whole month. Usually I like to have 4 audiobook books on my TBR, but I decided against that. I will listen to whatever I feel like on audio this month. I don't really want to limit myself because when I listen to audiobooks, it's because I'm going to bed and I want something to listen to, and I'm very much a mood reader, so I'm hoping that if I follow this strictly and then just mood read with my audiobooks, it'll be a good balance. So these are the books. These are them. I'm sitting down again today because I realized last time I filmed I was like, wait, like it's so much more comfortable to sit down. And I know like a lot of people stand when they film their videos, and that's great if it works for them. I feel so much more relaxed if I sit. I can just chat about the books. So that's what we're doing. Okay, well, okay, that is so many books. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it in order of prompts. They have 12 prompts. One of the prompts is actually just a 24 and 48. So I didn't pick a book for that prompt, so I have 11 books to share with you guys today. Let's just get started. So the first prompt is Continued Pride, read a book with an LGBTQIA+ main character. And this is great because for the month of June I read only LGBTQIA+ books. That was like my Pride Month readathon. So this one I've actually talked about in my last TBR video, and the idea of continued pride works really well because I'm also continuing the TBR, and it is Love and Other Carnivorous Plants by Florence Gonsalves. This one is about a young girl who she ends up falling in love with another girl in rehab. She has an eating disorder. I think the other girl has a drug addiction, but I'm not certain. But I just think it'll be fun. I love the title, I love the cover, and I need to read it. The next prompt is Summer Job, read a book over 400 pages. And for this one, you knew it was coming because I enjoyed the, did I? Yeah, okay, I did read the last book in May, so I did talk about it in a wrap-up. The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is the sequel to The Poppy War, which I have right here, also by R.F. Kuang, and I'm so excited to read it. It's over 600 pages, I believe. Yeah, it's just over 650 pages. But it doesn't feel like a summer job at all. I mean, to be fair, my summer job also doesn't feel like a summer job because it's so fun. So, this will be like my own summer job, I guess, because I will enjoy it. Oh, yes, okay, I just read the last bit and I was like, what? And then I was like, oh yeah. I'm excited to see where this is gonna go because both romantic interests died in the last one, so like, maybe there just won't be a love interest at all. I just love romance, but you know what, like, there doesn't have to be. It's such a strong book without having any narrative of, like, a love story, so I don't know. Okay, the next prompt was Lazy Days at the Beach, beach read, and this one, I always am very, like, I have trouble when a prompt says, like, a beach read, because, like, what is a beach read? It's a book you read at the beach. But, like, I'm not going to a beach anytime soon, so I was like, I can't just, like, pick a book and be like, I'll read it at the beach. So, I tend to lean more towards, like, if you're at the beach, there's a lot of people, you're probably talking, you might be drinking a little bit, so you're probably wanting to read something fairly light and fluffy. So I was like, okay, I'll just pull something off of my contemporary young adult romance shelf, and I pulled off The Secret of a Heart Note by Stacey Lee, but then I read the inside cover and there's like a little bit of like a supernaturally twist. She's an aromateur, which is she uses her extraordinary sense of smell to mix bases, top notes, and heart notes into elixirs that help others fall in love. And she's not supposed to fall in love, but then of course she does, because what's a romance novel without the main character falling in love? So yeah, I figured like light, fun, I guess that's a beach read, right? So the next one was Get a Tan, read a book that will make you hot, and by hot they said like either like hot and steamy romance or a book that would make you angry. So there were two ways I could go. I could either read like a romance novel or I could read something political. And I thought a while about this, but I've been doing a lot of heavy reading for school, so I was like, I want something a little bit fun to balance that out. So who is the author we go to when we want steamy? We go to Sarah J. Maas. This is Throne of Glass. It's the first book in the series. I've actually never read the Throne of Glass series, but I've read the entire ACOTAR series, including the one that just came out. And I think that this one, because A Court of Silver Flames was an adult book, which is why it was much more explicit. But I mean, ACOTAR was fairly explicit and it was young adult, and this is young adult, so like I feel like it'll be romance. I had a friend in first year who was obsessed with this series, and she actually bought me the first two books, so I'm finally reading it. I'm worried that I'm gonna get hooked and then I'm gonna need to buy like the entire rest of the series, because aren't there like at least 6 books? I only have the first 2. We'll see. Okay, the next one was Travel Abroad, a book set in a different country. I always love these kinds of books, like books set in different countries, because you can read all about like different places. When I was, especially like before I went to France, I was like, I need to read so many books set in different countries so I can like figure out where I want to go. So I'm going to be reading Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is a sequel to Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And I don't really remember what happened in that book, but I know it was set... Was it set in Prussia? I don't remember. This used to be a library book, so it's a little bit more beaten up, but that's okay. I do remember the ending, like, legitimately made me gasp, but I don't actually really remember much of what happened. So, I'm gonna have to, like, go on, like, Recaptains or one of those websites just so I can, like, reread what happened and then be like, oh yes, and then get right into this one. And then I also have Night of Cakes and Puppets or something like that, which is like the in-between book, so I'm gonna have to read that at some point too. But yeah, I've got this one. Okay, next one was Off to Summer Camp, a book with an outdoor setting, and I chose Useless Bay by M.J. Beaufront. This is, there's like this a bay, obviously, and these teenagers who live on it, they're quintuplets, and they're like the ones who, there's like legend that they like came from the island themselves, and they kind of like, they're the protectors, and they're searching for the body, I think, of a missing young boy. Sorry, I should be holding up the book. They're searching for the body of a missing young boy, and then they end up finding another body, so it's like right up my alley. It's fairly short. I love the cover art. There's nothing about this that I don't like, so I really, really hope I like the actual book itself. Next prompt was Backyard Barbecue, read a book with food on the cover, and I chose The Unlikelies by Carrie Firestone. If you don't know, Carrie Firestone wrote one of my all-time favorite novels, The Loose Ends List. It was so incredible. I'm planning on rereading it soon. So I hope that I like this one just as much. I have really, really high hopes for it because of how much I loved The Loose Ends List. But this is about a group of 5 people who have all like accidentally saved someone's life, and then so they like form a group of like, they're like low-key superheroes, except they have no superpowers. They're just like going around saving people. But then they try to help a heroin-using friend, and they get in over their heads. And it's a summer. It's set all during one summer, so it feels like a good book to read for the summertime reads, right? Like I thought it was very fitting. Okay, the next one, it is Summertime Sunset, which was to read a book with red, yellow, or orange on the cover, and I'm doing it, everybody. I'm going to read The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is over 800 pages long. I am so excited. I've had this book as long as I've had the Poppy War, I think. Maybe even a little bit longer. And I also got it from Becca, and like she talked about it on her channel. And it sounded incredible. I think Cody also, in Cody's Book Corner, Cody also talked about this book, and both of them loved it, so I was like, well, I've got to read it, maybe I'm gonna love it. And because I loved the Poppy War so much, I trust their judgment, so I'm hoping I also really, really, really love this one. Okay, the next one is Summer Fling, short and sweet, read a book under 200 pages, and this one is not at all a book that I would say is like summer fling, but it is a book under 200 pages, and that is Matilda by Mary Shelley. This one is a classic. So I have the Broadview edition. I don't even... Oh, yes. Okay, so this one, she learns that her father is sexually attracted to her, and she's trying to, like, come to her own, like, terms with her own existence and how she feels about her own self after learning that, how she feels about relationships. I'm really excited. I've actually never read anything by Mary Shelley. Even Frankenstein, I've never read. I've read, like, snippets of it, and I was like, so I'm hoping I really like this, just because, like, I want to like Mary Shelley. She's so cool. So we'll see. This is going to be my introduction to Mary Shelley, and Broadview editions are always so good. Like, their notes are really great. I find them very helpful, so I'm hoping that it'll really help, like, immerse me into the story and help me to, like, understand everything better. I'm just looking forward to it in general. So then there's Late Night Fireworks, a book that you're excited about, and there are a lot of books I'm excited about, and I had to choose between two, but I ended up choosing the one that I think I'm more likely to read this month, and that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is like my favorite author of all time, maybe. I've loved every single book I've ever read by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, especially the Naturals series is like one of my favorite series of all time. And this one is like so sneaky and cool. It's like this old man dies, and his inheritance is like all these games in this mansion, and he leaves it to his grandsons, but also this random girl. So she like gets thrown into it, and she's like, who even are these people? And the grandchildren are like, who even is she? And I think there's a love triangle, which I'm not a fan of, but I am a fan of everything else. And there was kind of a little bit of a love triangle in the Naturals, and I didn't hate that. So hopefully the love triangle... I don't like love triangles. That's like the one romance trope that, like, if we could abolish a romance trope, that is the one that I would abolish. It's actually really funny that I say that, because Kiss of Deception, I think, was the book that... Is that the title? Kiss of Deception? I think I have it. Yeah. Okay, the Kiss of Deception is literally a love triangle. Like, that's the whole premise, is it's a love triangle. There are two men who are after this girl. One is the prince who she left at the altar, and the other is an assassin trying to kill her. And you don't know which one is which, and you kind of... You know who you want her to be with, but you don't know if it's the prince or the assassin. So it's like a fun love triangle. I mean, it's a love triangle all the same, and love triangles just because, like, I know who I want them to be with, and if there's someone else, and if I'm nervous at all about it, like, A Court of Silver Flames, I know that I want Azriel to be with Gwyneth. I know that. I don't want him with Elaine, and it stresses me out that Sarah J. Maas could still pair him with Elaine. Anyways, I'm veering really off topic, and I only have one more book to talk about, so let's get to that. The last one is End of Summer Bonfire, and it is to read one of their two group reads. I actually owned one of them, so I picked that one, and that is The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. I feel like this was something... This was, like, recommended to, like, if you're a Scorpio, you should read this book. And then, oh, I don't even know. It's, like, friends. I mean, they're, like, sitting on, like, a dock, so it's, like, a friend summertime thing. There might also be a love triangle in this, which would suck. Dill, Travis, and Lydia are the names of them. And Dill is the son of a Pentecostal minister, and Lydia has a fashion blog, and Travis is obsessed with a book series. Oh no, he's the fangirl who may be turning his harsh reality into real-life fantasy. Okay, so he's also falling in love with someone else, so no love triangle. I hope that it's good. I've had it for a while. This was also, I think 2 years ago, I did a video that was like reading books Owl Crate recommends to me, where I went through all of the Owl Crates I'd ever gotten, and I read every single, like, I looked at every single item, and any item based off a book I hadn't read, I read that book. This was one of them, and it was one of the ones that I never ended up reading. So that's why there was never a sequel to that video, because there were like 3 books. It was like this one, Robin Hood, and Caraval, I think, were the 3 books that I didn't end up reading. I read every single other book. And I just couldn't. And like Caraval, I know literally everyone loves. Robin Hood, like you can't blame me. But this one in Caraval, like I could have read and I should have read, but I'm a mood reader and I was never in the mood. Also, I love that like there are all these scales that you can see, but I'll see if when I hold it up the camera, do you see those little scales that you can't see unless you like move, the ones that are just like in the light? That's so cool. But now that I'm in publishing school, I'm like, I wonder how expensive that was to have like those little bits that aren't matte, like that little bit of gloss. So that is it. That's what I'm going to be reading for the month of July. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a huge thumbs up. If you liked it, you can leave a comment down below telling me if you've read any of these books, if you're going to be participating in the readathon. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the readathon announcement. So if you want to learn more about it, you can go ahead, watch that video. I'm really excited about this. I haven't like done like a readathon in a while. I did the Minecraft-a-thon and I said I was going to vlog it and then I didn't end up vlogging it. I'm definitely not going to vlog this one. I'm moving this week, which is like the beginning of July. It's going to be stressful. So we're just going to read them and then I'll talk about them in my wrap up. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Otherwise, have a great day and I will see you in the next one.